Today we're going to be playing the Power Rangers deck building game solo. There is a few modifications and there is of course just the one player. So to make it as random as possible, I've already shuffled the decks, gotten them ready, and to pick good guy versus bad guy, what I did was I shuffled each of the stacks. Top one will be the character I'm going to play or be fighting, and then we'll just kind of go from there. For the Rangers, I'm going to, if I get either of the Tommies, I think I'm just going to take the other one out. If I don't draw either of them, we'll just keep them in. It's fine. I just don't want the Rangers to have too many more options here, even though I'm sure it's probably um, like by choice. But let's see what we have as a range. Oh, okay. All right, so we're going to be playing as Tommy Oliver, White Ranger. So that's our character card. So I can set aside the rest of them. Then I also need Saba. Then again, set aside the rest of them. Then we'll be fighting against Lord Zedd. I swear I shuffled these. So that is actually pretty crazy. All right, well, all that said, Lord Zedd it is. And that also means the Z staff. And then we can set aside the rest. So we have Tommy Oliver here. We have our two cards that we can buy. We have Lord Zedd in his scheming form. And where did I put the other? Oh, there it is. Then his two cards he can buy. We'll set them aside over here. I'm trying to still figure out space-wise how to set this up since there is so little space. So, I mean, it was in somewhat of a random order, but I actually would have gotten another Tommy card next. So we'll just reshuffle that, take that Tommy card out, so there's no chance that we get two Tommy Olivers. I think that just kind of makes more sense. Now we'll play the game. There are some changed rules when playing in solo mode. Obviously, there's a solo deck. And the solo deck gives you cards that direct your opponent in how they play their turn. For example, of course, they go first. Even if it was a good guy, they would still go first. Okay, they got Power Up. Shuffle the highest cost card in the discard pile into deck. That's fine, whatever. Location. Had there been any locations, that's what they'd be focused on buying. There are none. So I think it prioritizes whatever's on the farthest left that they can afford. So we got Putty Clay, so we'll get 3 energy. And if I can find it, there you go. 3 energy, 30 health, disposable, and 3 mayhem. And I guess, yeah, we'll go for the telescope because he does need equipment. So I'll just kind of set that discard pile there for now. I really need to figure out how to do this a little better. But that's, I think, fine. His turn ends, and I think he still takes the 2 damage because there's 2 uh, adversaries to his team. Then instead of the turn starting right away, what you do is you get rid of the closest non-adversary card, which I'm not sure if that means like, okay, so I'm a ranger, so my adversary would be a villain, right? So does that mean that I would get rid of a ranger? Or does that mean adversary because you're, either or. So you the rightmost non one of these cards. So we'd get rid of regenerate. So since I'm not entirely sure, I'm going to say I'm going to get rid of this regenerate. And main deck discard pile will just go over there. And then I think you shift everything over. And you start filling up left to right. Oh boy, that's going to be rough. Then my turn just goes as it normally would. This is not going to be great because it looks like I'm going to take some damage because I have 4 teamwork and an attitude. And I mean, I could buy the Black Ranger, and I do need 2 heroes, so that's kind of like I kind of want to do. I'm gonna do that, but like it's it's tough because what I could have also done is gotten a Blade Blaster and Zoran. That's another option. Could have gone for destroying the Z Putty Patrollers. Um, Pudgy Piggy to give him a stun, which is also good. Drawing a card with Spanx, like it's not terrible, but like I don't know, it's not terrible, but it doesn't really mean much in the beginning because I'd be spending 4, draw 1. Even if I got another 1, I wouldn't be able to do anything with it. So I mean, it's fine, but it is what it is. When you go to your opponent's turn, because I'm done, I just refill it where it stands. And it looks like I take like 6, no, not 6, I take 4 damage. So I'm at 26. And let's see what's telling me. You pay 1 less to buy cards from the grid that cost 5 or more to buy, not battles. So I think had a card like the Red Ranger, who normally costs 5, I would only have to pay 4. So had he been there, I could have bought him with that opening hand, which would have been really nice. But that was not the case. So no dice. Let's see, next card. Disorienting Strike. Attack. Target foe discards 1 card. It does not say a random card, so I interpret that as me being able to choose which one to get rid of. Unfortunately, I have all cards that are good for me, so I'm gonna have to get rid of the power coin and discard that. I don't like that, but it's kind of have to play it how it goes. And Disorienting Strike said hero, so that means no matter what, he has to go after the hero first, even if it ends up not being like the most ideal. So first rebuild, go up to 29, then 4 mayhem, and he'll spend 3 to defeat Zordon, and his effect when he's defeated is heal 2. So he actually goes back to full health. But that's all he can do. He'll end the turn, and I guess that destroys the Moon Palace. Everything shifts over. There's a lot of villains here. Ooh, Thunderslinger, that's kind of cool. And Morphin Time. Well, that's stronger than Zordon was. I am now realizing that this Tommy has Maneuver, Maneuver, Hero, Hero, which, I don't know, I feel like specifically, like Tommy should always have at least 1 equipment just because he's known for his signature weapon that's like special or unique to him that no other ranger has anything like close to it. Like Saba, no other ranger has anything close to that. The Dragon Dagger he uses so much so that it almost doesn't like that's his weapon. Rangers they have the Blade Blaster and their weapon, but his kind of acts as both to me. But either way, that is that. So he ends his turn. He draws his new hand, which I don't. Yeah, we don't need to look at that yet. And it goes to my turn. My hand is hurting. Well, I guess I can at least heal for 1. So I'm at 27 health. Then I have 3. And I feel like I do have to destroy one of these guys. I could heal. Healing wouldn't be bad. Healing would probably be a good idea. But I think I'll take out Pudgy Piggy to make him get a stun. So he has to get that. So that's going to ruin his day. It's going to give him a -1 at some point in the game, and he'll have to recover it. And to say the very least, he's not in a situation where he'll be able to heal more than 1. But I will have to end my turn there and take 3 damage. because there's so many villains still in the grid. Then I shuffle my deck, and we'll see what his solo card is. And the reason why I choose not to look at his hand, it's just if I'm planning an attack and I already know there's a block, like I might not attack. So I choose not to look at it to say, well, you know what, I'm going to go in faith, I'm attacking like you would in a normal game. And then he can then be like, well, I do have a block, but is this the right time to block? I play it that way. I think it puts a little more suspense into it. Oop. These penny sleeves are not the best for shuffling, but these are actually my brother's cards, and I gave him the penny sleeves, and I sleeved a lot of them. I didn't. I have obviously plenty of normal sleeves, but I do like to color code my stuff, and I've already used a lot of cool colors. Let's see. So I do draw my hand, unless he makes me discard. I'll set that there. I don't know what it is yet. Refill for him. There's actually quite a bit of good stuff here. You have attacks, you have blocks, plenty of villain options, but it really depends if he gets a card that tells him to grab a villain. And if he doesn't, then he just can't. Alright, so this turn, it would have been location, but the one location that was there was destroyed. So destroy one random starter in play, or discard pile first, or in play. So since there isn't any in the discard pile, and it doesn't say you have to do it immediately, meticulous planning, by the way, I will have to do that at some point. I don't want to say to do it to this rebuild because you might need it later. 4 mayhems, and I think he's gonna go. I think they go for the highest. Actually, I think it's the highest costing that they can afford of whatever it says. So I'm gonna say he's gonna grab the Z Putty Patroller. It at least fits a slot that he has, and he'll destroy 1 mayhem. Destroy 1 starter in play. Oh, sorry. It says 1 random starter. Okay. So I guess I'll shuffle these. I mean, odds are it's still gonna be one of those, but it could be the recovery card. So we'll see. That could hurt him in the end of the game, but I mean, odds are it's not gonna be that at all. So let's see what he gets. Mayhem. It's kind of what I figured. I mean, there wasn't a big chance for that rebuild. And then we have this energy icon, which would be he uses his ability. Usually the ability matters more for the other side because it's normally an attack or something aggressive. This one is when he attaches an equipment to row 1. Doesn't really apply here, but he can also use an energy, like an attach card, for free. But if there is none, he just attacks for 3 damage, which he'll do because being turn 3 or whatever, I don't have any blocks. So he attacks for 3. I'm down to 21 health. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. And I think that calls the turn. Unfortunately, dodge goes away. And let's see what comes up. Let's see, that'd be left and then right. Fortunately, more villains came in, and although I do have attitude, I guess I could take down the pumpkin wrapper. I don't know. But I will use recovery to heal 1 to bring me back to 22. Then I have 3. I'm thinking I'll just go for the Yellow Ranger just so I can get her, because I do need heroes. I need 2 heroes, and I also need maneuvers. But even this 5er costs 4, and I don't have that much. So I think that's probably a fine way to do the turn. I end my turn. It refills. Oh, there's Alpha. And then I take 3 damage. So that brings me down to 19. Put that there. And I'll call that turn. And it goes back to him. So I'll go ahead and draw my new hand. There's my cards. Oh, I guess I don't. I mean, I already know I can't block it, so not much to that. All right, so this turn, solo, Flurry of Blows. Activate the top and bottom attached cards, go for equipment, and activate an ability and attack. So, before I can do anything else, I did draw the telescope. Now, when you draw into a card that can be attached in solo mode on their turn, you have to attach it regardless of if it nerfs that hand. So I automatically say, hey, I'm attaching this. Lord Zedd's ability kicks in when you attach an equipment. Draw a card. I mean, it's fine, I guess. So I guess he'll activate this Putty Clay, which brings him to 6 energy. And he can use his ability, which attack each target foe reveals the top card of their deck. They may discard any reveal. Wait, what? That didn't seem that bad. Each target foe reveals the top card of their deck. They may discard any revealed cards. If negated, discard this card. I think I already drew a hand. So top card of the deck, and it may be discarded. I'm gonna choose not to discard that because I think I will need that eventually. But it's a weird attack. I mean, granted, it is literally what it says, and just like looking for something. So that actually wasn't that bad. Oh, and he's going for equipment again, if he can afford it. He's got 3 and a disposable, so he actually can't afford it. And the rule book doesn't actually say like, hey, if you're going for equipment and you either can't afford it, or it just aren't any there, what exactly it goes for. It tells you if there's a tie, go for this, or if you have extra left over, do this. It doesn't say like if this just isn't possible, do this. So I'm gonna say he'll get the Z Putty Patroller because it's the leftmost. He can afford it, and it exists. And then I guess he'll end his turn. I'll go ahead and shuffle it up. I think that also means that this Morphin Time goes away because it's a non-adversary card. He'll take 1 damage because Alpha's there. And now that I'm looking at it, I mean, Thunderslinger wouldn't be the worst for the hero side. I just wouldn't be able to use it as I can't attach it because I can only use maneuvers. Fortunately, we just got rid of 2 decent maneuvers. Morphin Time would have been good to just give me energy. I'm sure at some point I would probably want some. Because my goal right now is to get my attachments to be able to morph, because that gives me a free Zord, and a free Zord would be pretty nice. And then once you get your first Master or Zord, each subsequent one is a little cheaper. So that's like, yeah, I want to do that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he has his hand. I can go ahead and ready for the next turn. Then we already did that. So everything shifts over. And we're replacing left to right. Ooh, Radbug wouldn't be bad just to have a block. Which, I mean, if I can, actually I can, if I get 4, I can afford it. Ooh, okay. So I have a pretty interesting hand because I did draw into black. That is not a bad card. So what I think I'll do is play 4 Teamworks. Now, Tommy's ability, you pay one less to buy cards from the grid that cost 5 plus. I think that means 5 or more. They didn't do that. They could have said more than 5, but I'm gonna assume that means including 5 because I don't think there are that many like 6s or 7s even in the main deck. 5 might be the highest unless I'm mistaken. If I'm mistaken, of course let me know. So I'm gonna pay 4 to buy the Rad Bug. So now I have a block, which is really nice. Go ahead and play the Black Ranger so I can get some energy on the board. Put me at 4, which I'll need to play Rad Bug. That gives me 3. And I'll go ahead and do Alpha because again I need heroes, and now I at least have 2. I forget if I bought anything else. I think I bought Yellow Ranger, so now I have 3. I have 3 in the deck. Alpha, I think I'll want to keep attached because he is a draw 1, so an extra card each turn would not be terrible. Trini might also be better attached because I think she heals. And then the Black Ranger gives pretty decent overall coverage, 3 and 4. Not terrible. So I think that calls my turn. So we'll fill up. Not bad. I do like the fact that the Power Morpher is there because it's a lot of energy. And Knockout Blow because I need I need these slots to be filled up. I do. I'll take 2 damage because there's 2 villains here. I'm down to 17 health. I feel like you get bombarded with attacks way quicker in this mode. Could be wrong, but we'll see. So we'll see what the solo card is. Activate left and right. Attach cards, go for equipment. Right. So telescope is activated again, which means I should draw this hand, which I hadn't done yet. And I don't. Telescope doesn't seem all that great. Like they can look at it and they can discard it if they want. They don't have to. If it gets negated, they lose the card. So I guess if I really wanted to, I could negate that attack just to force him to have to activate it and lose a card in his hand, which I guess is a play. It's a thing I could do, I suppose. So that's 4 cards in hand. And actually, that is something I can do, but that also means I can't play the card that I'd be blocking with. So I think I'm going to not do that. Go ahead and look at it. I'm not going to discard it because it's really good. And I guess that's it. So second thing, he has to. I drew into 2 villains, and he absolutely has to attach one of them. It didn't say which one, so I'm going to assume we're going for the one with the highest cost. Maybe that. We'll go with the Z Putty Patroller, whose effect is, when it's activated, attack, deal 3 damage. If negated, heal 2 if you have 10 or fewer. So that does give him more to work with. Go ahead and play Rebuild to get him back to 30. So even healing is not really a concern. He's got this Super Putty Patroller, which actually gives him 6 energy. So 6 plus 6 is 12. So he's already almost maxed out there. And then 2 Mayhem. And he actually can buy an equipment, which is funny. He can buy this Risk Communicator. So that kind of did work out for him. And then that ends his turn. So the Thunder Slinger gets destroyed. Shift over everything. Ooh, another Black Ranger. That's a good one. And a Babu. He is possibly one of the best and most fun cards in the game. If you buy him to use him, gain the top card of the main deck. If it's a bad guy, you still get it. And if it were Pumpkin Wrapper, well, I would get the 4 shards. But if I got King Sphinx, I just got a blocker. And you can play a blocker from your hand. It just, you end up kind of negging one card unless the effect kind of gives you another one. If you defeat him as a good guy, you get the same effect, but you only get it the one time. But still, really strong card. If I had to choose one, probably go for Babu just so he can't get it. And it's one less villain in the grid for me to have to deal with. So I will go for my turn. I have Radbug, which gives me 5 energy, so that brings me to 9. And then 3, 4, 5 shards, as well as a power coin for another 3 energy. That gives me 12. So I think we're actually tied in energy, but nothing else. And I also have Attitude, which I think I will use. I have 5. I'm going to go for Babu. He's defeated. Gained the top card of the main deck. Hopefully it's expensive. It's a maneuver, and it's fairly expensive. It's a 4. That's not bad. Pretty good, actually. And because I defeated a villain, or I battled, I can destroy up to 2 cards I control. I think I'll get rid of the power coin and the teamwork, hoping that wasn't a terrible idea. I hope I'm not diluting my deck too much. And then I do take 2. Actually, I end my turn, take 3 damage because there's 3 of them, so I'm down to 14. And then I draw my new hand. Oh, I don't need to look at that yet. And he draws his new hand. And he goes. All right, so recuperation. Immediately heal 4. He's already at max. Then he goes for hero, so he'll actually be trying to defeat the Black Ranger this turn. And he'll activate one of his cards. So he actually can't afford to beat the Black Ranger, so that's unfortunate. Oh, shoot. I think I was at 14 health. See, Putty Clay, so he's at 15 energy. Disposable. Well, he can't go after that because it's too expensive. So I think he can't actually afford anything. Blade Blaster it is, which is viable. And he can activate his ability, which does nothing. And then activate one of his attach cards for free. So I guess he'll use Putty Patroller, attack, deal 3, which I cannot negate. So I'll take another 3, so I'm at 11. If negated, I would have done some stuff, but it's not negated. So that just kind of ends his turn. Power Morpher gets destroyed, and then we fill her up. He does take 1 damage. All right, my turn. I'll start with recovery, and I can heal 2 since I'm dangerously low. And I'll go ahead and attach the Yellow Ranger and activate her to heal 3. And even then, I'm only at 16. But you know what? It's a step in the right direction. 16, where are you? And that cost me 4, so that puts me at 8 energy, which I'm not overly concerned about. But I think I will normally play Black Ranger and 2 Teamworks, which actually puts me back up to 12. And now I'm at 5. So what I'm going to do is take out Pudgy Piggy because it's only 3. And it gives him another stun. Then that leaves me with 2, because I was at 5. And I'll go ahead and get myself a Blade Blaster. And call that a turn. I have 1 attached card I've gotten plenty others. So whenever that alpha comes back, I'll attach him. Black Ranger will just be not attached. It's fine, I guess. I do take 2 damage. I'm down to 14. And I'll end my turn. Do I have 5 here? No, I only have 4 here. Okay. But we're doing... I think we're still in the game. Our health is extremely low. We're at 14 health, 12 energy, which, yeah, that can change quite a bit. But I think if they can ever afford it, they always go for their signature item and master over anything else. And he'll have to be able to go to his other side, his empowered form. He's in his scheming form, but we'll see. Okay, so I think I had, 4, 5. And then his turn, he only had 2, so we'll have to shuffle. We should be coming across some stuns at some point, I think. I gave him 1 already. I mean, we just put another one in there, but there should be 2 in his deck now. Now, I've already played the solo mode a couple times, and there's, I think, at least 1 that's just an attack, deal 2 stuns. So if I can block that, I absolutely have to, because there's very little, there isn't too many ways to just get rid of it. There's some location cards that when played or when you fulfill the requirement, you can destroy a card, but that's like 1. I don't know. That's we've already had to get rid of 1 because of the mechanics of the game, so not looking great in that regard. Okay. So he's at 2, 3, 4, and 5. What's the solo card today? Research. Immediately gain 4 shards, and he's going to focus on maneuvers, which is weird because he cannot attach them. But he can attach the risk communicator that he just drew into, so he has to play it. Or he has to attach it. So kind of weird side ones, but it's what he got. And he's at 6, which he actually can afford his staff. And so he'll go ahead and buy the staff. And I guess that goes here, because normally it can attach to any space except orange. Okay, whatever. I didn't exactly understand this. I was told this by official staff when I went to Ranger Stop. It can attach to anything except here, even though part of the color gradient is that color. It's fine, I guess. But he got it. He'll be able to just play it later. I don't know if you can choose to detach anything as the bad guy. It doesn't really go into that too much. Got a stun, putty clay, so he goes up to 18. Okay, and I think that's it. He did have the stun, so whatever. He was a little gimped, but he had a pretty decent turn overall. Gonna take out this knockout blow. Everything shifts over. And then we just replace 1 card. Okay, another maneuver, which is cool. He'll go ahead and take 1 damage. He's at 28. And we'll swap turns. Now, Yellow Ranger readies, and then I'll attach Alpha. I'll use Alpha's ability to pay 3 to draw 1. So that puts me to 9. So I draw an extra 1, and I have 5. With my 5, well, I already have Rangers, so I don't necessarily need to get that one. I'll buy Heavy Attack, because it's decent, at the very least. And puts me 1 left. I think I will go ahead and pay another 4, putting me at 5, to heal 3 with the Yellow Ranger, putting me at 17. Because health is a big risk in this game. Then I'll end my turn. It just normally refills. Then I take 2 damage because there's 2 villains. Puts me down to 15, which, could be worse. Then turn passes. I'll go ahead and draw 4 and 5. Yeah. He's got his hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got your hand. I think I actually misplayed. I think playing the risk communicator, he should have drawn an extra card per his effect. I now realize that, but the turn's kind of passed. Reserves. Immediately gain 5 energy, so he's already at max. He was at 18, so he hits 20, can't go any further. He's going to go after maneuvers this turn, and he gets to use one of his attached abilities. Okay, so he's got the stun. He's got the Z Putty Patroller, which I guess he can. It really doesn't matter. Play that. 2 and rebuild. He can't do anything except get a Blade Blaster. Pretty weak turn, but he does have a block. So that's always going to be like something that can happen during my turn. His turn ends, and oh, sorry, he used one of his attached cards. I guess he'll do the Z Putty Patroller to deal 3 damage. If negated, he'll heal 2 if he has low. I'll choose not to. So I'll take the 3, so that puts me back at 12. Where's the 12 on this thing? There it is. Yeah, because I could choose not to, but I think the benefits I get from playing my Radbug exceed any of the bad that would have happened had I not. So, well, you'll see. Get rid of that. Then he will take 1 damage. So he's at 27. Thanks to the Yellow Ranger, I'm hovering around the low teens. Otherwise, I'd probably be close to losing at this point. So, turn goes over. Speaking of which, I'll go ahead and just use Recover. If you have 20 or fewer, heal 2. So I get to heal 2 from 12 to 14. Black Ranger, give me 14 health. And then I'm up to 9 energy. 3 shards. 5 shards with Blade Blaster. Radbug, which gives me 5 more, so that's 14 energy. And then that's 6, 7, 8. And then I have an Attitude. So I could actually get rid of both of the villains right now. That is awful tempting. That is that is very tempting right now. I have plenty of energy, so I'm gonna pay 3 energy to put me at 11 to draw a card. Let's see what we draw into. Ooh, that was the heavy attack. I could attach it. I could attach it actually. I could attach it and then buy my weapon, and then I could morph right now, right here. I could. What does he actually do on his other side? Attack, deal 2 damage for each card with cost of 5 or more attached to your character. 5 or more. Shoot, there are. I don't know if I have any of those, so that might not actually be all that good. I mean, if I get regenerate, I guess that's 1, but I think I'm going to instead play the heavy attack, give myself an extra 2. So that's 13 energy. So that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. 11 minus 4 is 7. Let's see, that 7, and then he lets me draw a card. 7, 8. um. Oh wait, that's perfect. 3. So that leaves me at 5. Then he has to discard a card, so we'll go ahead and draw his new hand. I have 5 left, and actually I think I can buy regenerate with only 4 with his ability, but I guess I guess I'll just go ahead and I guess I'll go ahead and buy that. And since I already have 4 in the villain hand, whatever is on the top of this deck, I'll just go ahead and discard rather than just picking something at random. Oh, he loses a stun, so that actually didn't hurt him at all. Oh well, that's fine. And yeah, buy that regenerate because that is a coster, 5 coster, so that actually did help his game state. Pay 4, that brings me down to 9. To heal 3, put him back to 17. And end the turn, which I don't think it doesn't do the thing. And okay, cool. So I don't take any damage this turn. First turn in a long time. And turn passes. Yeah. I do really like having Alpha here. I think my only recourse or my best plan right now is to put really expensive maneuvers on him and transform him. Although Saba does cost 6 or 5 or more, so I think the plan is to buy Saba, put that 5 coster regenerate on him, and then just deal damage that way. I think that's a good method of utilizing him because regenerate can keep me alive, which is really important. And so Alpha gives me extra. Yellow Ranger does. We'll see. If we can draw the Red Ranger, I might swap out one of them. I don't know. He's got his hand. Turn passes. Let's see. Powerful blow. Attack. Deal 4 damage. And then he goes after a villain if he can. And I don't have a block, so I'll just take that 4 damage. I thought that was less, so I'm down to 13 health again. Where are there it is. 13 health, and he's going after villains. Then since I took out the last of them, he can't. So he's got 4. And a disposable. I'm gonna say he goes ahead and attacks the Black Ranger. Foe discards 1 card. And this disposable, he'll get rid of 2 mayhems. Alright. Well, it says discards 1 card, so I can choose. So I'll choose Attitude. And then turn passes. Portal bomb's destroyed. Everything shifts over. Another parry, which is Babu. Might turn it. Oh wow, I could I could actually turn this. I could transform this turn, but I think it's better if I don't. I'll go ahead and play regenerate. Actually, I think I'll pay 3. Put me to 6. Draw a card. Play the Black Ranger. Bring me back to 10. And I'll use the 4 from regenerate to get Babu out of here, which lets me gain the top card of the deck, which is it's a maneuver. Okay, whatever. And so that's 3, 4, 5. I use that. I only have 5 to work with, so I think I'll get a parry. Parry. That was me with 2. I'll go ahead and play heavy attack to give me 3 more. So I'm at 5 again and 12 energy. With 5. I'll buy dodge so I can keep negating these attacks. I only have 1 left, but I will pay 4. Bring me down to 8. But my health will go back to 16. His is definitely hovering around a certain area. So I'll end my turn there. And this just fills up. Oh, there he is. The boy. Oh, and now, okay, diversity. Oh, boy, there's 2 of them. All right, then turn passes. 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we get. 3, 4, 5. Villain's turn. Last solo card, which is my worst. Stunning Strike. Attack. Target foe gains 2 stuns. He also uses one of his attached abilities. Let's see. I will go ahead and use a Rad Bug to pay 4. Put me at 4 energy left. Negate the attack. Draw 2 cards. Discard one of them. Then discard this card. Okay. Draw 2. Discard 1. It's actually pretty decent, to be honest. Okay, so that stopped. And he can use one of his attached abilities. I think I'm going to wait on that just for the second. Let me think. I guess he'll use Rebuild to heal 1 back to 28, which he's kind of consistently been fairly high. He has the Super Putty Patroller. I kind of want to wait to use it just in case. He's got 6. I think he's going to go after one of the Green Rangers just to get rid of him. 4, and then one of the 2s. Blade Blaster, end the turn. Command Center goes away. Everything shifts over. And then 1 and 2. Turn passes. Oh, sorry. Before the turn passes, I forgot the attack. So he'll go ahead and do the Putty Patroller attack to once again do 3. And since I now don't have a block, that does do the full 3, which is less than what it would have been. So we're at 13. It's not that bad, honestly. So looking at our hand, what can we do with this? All right, so first, oh, we only have 4 energy. That's not great. Okay, so I'm gonna pay 3, so I only have 1 left. I'm gonna draw 1 card. That wasn't exactly what I wanted. All right, well, I got recovery, so I get 2 back, so I'm at 15, which is a move. I guess I'll go ahead and play heavy attack to get 2 more. Only puts me at 3, so I can't even use my heal. This might get rough next turn. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Oh man, what do I do? Okay, I'm gonna do smart. 8 minus 4 is 4. It didn't really matter all that much, but I'm gonna go ahead and get parry just because another block is, good for me. Then I'll end my turn. Goes back to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got exactly 5. That. Oop. I mean, they're all the same. You only flip over one Blade Blaster at a time because once you buy the one, oh, it's face down, so there's nothing to buy. And we'll have to shuffle the hero deck, see what we get. I didn't have enough energy to have a fully great move. Had I been able to heal, I'd be at 18. I'd feel a little better about things. I'm a little pensive about the situation that I'm currently in. Let's see, 3, 4, and 5. I had a heal card, which is better than nothing, but, Pink and juice bar. Okay, so next thing we have to do is reshuffle the solo cards because we've gone through them all. I think there's only like 10. But because of that, we'll start seeing the repeats from ones that we've seen before. The most difficult of which is that stun card, because getting not one, but 2 stuns in one turn for something they didn't have to pay for is absolutely ridiculous, and it hurts me quite a bit. Another thing that kind of feels weird in this mode is that they don't have to pay to use their stuff when they have it on the thing, and I don't know if they activate it on their own. Powerful blow, attack, deal 4 damage. Going after villains, there are none. Let's see. Can I block that? No, I don't think I can. Even if I had a block, it would be too expensive. So 4 damage, 15 puts me at 11. Not super fun. Let's see what he's got. He's got Putty Clay, which I really don't get how he can run out of energy. It seems very unlikely. Stun, which is kind of barren, but Blade Blaster and 2 mayhem, so he's got 4 to work with. He can't go after any villains. There are none. So, and nothing he can attach. So I guess he'll go after anything he can buy. I guess he'll buy the juice bar, which actually kind of sucks for me because that means he'll start healing by default. But I'll go ahead and play it that way. Just he can't buy maneuvers, so the closest thing to the main deck he can buy would be that because this would be pointless. I guess he could buy him. I don't know. It's not super clear, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it like that and suffer if that was not the right move. Let me know if in that situation where there are no villains to buy and he had enough for this, which is probably the optimal choice here, or if he just had to buy things here, even if he can't attach it, he can still play it. Let me know if that is what I was supposed to do. If you know, I'm not exactly sure when it comes to solo mode. It's a little different because like you don't play it like as if you were the character. You play it kind of in a directed way. But either way, this is discarded. Everything shifts over. He'll take 1 damage because pink is there. Oh, there's a putty. And there's another pink. So he takes 1 damage to 27, which is a round. There it is. And now it's my turn, which means we'll have to shuffle up his deck. The only thing keeping him from transforming is the fact that he hasn't had very strong hands to get Lord Zedd, but once he does, he's fully capable to do it. So I'm a little worried about that happening, because it could come up pretty soon. It can come up literally any hand, because one of the cards in the solo deck just gives him 4 shards, which, now that I think about it, maybe I should have gotten him that earlier. No, I think I went for the weapon that turn. I think that's why. All right. Me. It's harder to shuffle these. These aren't great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go for attacks, which, that's something I can do. Well, certainly not here, but I guess I could attach that. I'm going to wait to attach that. So I'm going to go ahead and play Green Ranger. Give me 5. So that puts me at 8. Rad Bug, another 5. So that's 13. Energy. No, I guess I could do that. All right, let's do this first. I'm going to pay 3, putting me at 10 energy. To use Alpha's draw a card. That draws a card, which is awful. I guess I'll use recovery since it's been sitting here. I get 2, so now I'm at 13 health. Pretty good. Then I guess I could just do it. I could just transform right now, which is a move, but I don't know if that's a good move. I'll go ahead and play the teamwork. Now it's played. It's there. And yeah, I think I'll go ahead and do that. And use 6 to buy Saba and attach it here to this equipment slot. Then I have 1 left. Is that the one I want to do? Yeah, I'll play dodge. That gives me another 3, so that's back to 13 energy. That was 1, 2, 3. I'll destroy this Putty Patroller. And lets me destroy 1 card I control. I'll destroy 1 teamwork. And is it time? You know what? I think it is time. I'll go ahead and attach Strike Oppose, which morphs him into Mighty Morphin White. And everything costs 2 less to activate. So, and I get the White Tiger Zord, which there's very little room for all this stuff. That's the problem. The biggest issue is that to see everything, you need a huge play area just for your character alone, because you're attaching it to the sides. And if it, I know it wouldn't look very good, but if you could go in like that much more, like you would. No, I guess it really wouldn't make sense either. I guess I have to like go underneath it. Maybe that makes more sense. That's what I've done for the few of them. Okay, but I've used Alpha this turn. And let's see, who else do I want to use? Everything costs 2 less for the attached card, so I actually can use Strike Oppose, whatever that is. Destroy a card in your hand and gain health. Oh, that one's actually not as great as I thought it was. But I'll go ahead and pay 2, putting me at 11, to use Yellow Ranger to heal 3, putting me at 16, which is a pretty good look for me. Where's the 16? There's 16. Then I will pay another 2 to activate Saba. So that puts me at 9. And that will deal damage equal to the cost of another card attached to your character. Yellow is the highest other card at 3, so I'll do 3 damage to you. Now he gets to look at his hand. There's no blocks attached, so he has to take the 3 damage, putting him at 24. Then I guess I could, so I use that. I could activate the White Tiger Zord deal 3 damage, plus 3 if you have 5 or fewer energy. I don't have 5 or fewer energy. If you negate it, discard, discard. I think I'm going to do it just to, yeah, I'm going to activate the White Tiger Sword to deal 3. I have 9 energy, so it doesn't do any extra, but it does do 3, which puts him at 21, which is almost a third of his health, so pretty good turn. Probably next time I get that heavy attack, I'll get rid of Strike Oppose. Actually, I guess since I haven't used Strike Oppose, I can just get rid of it now. Then I guess I'll end my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there it is. Yeah, and then it refills like normal. There's a putty. I think I do take 1 for that. I'm at 15 now. Not terrible, actually. And let's see what we're going for. Location, which there are none, but he can activate an attached card, destroy 1 random starter in play, and then first in the discard pile, then in play. He doesn't have that. He's got 2 Mayhems, Putty Clay, Rebuild. So Juice Bar activates to put him to 22, and then Rebuild puts him to 23. So he's built it back up a little bit, and a stun. So he actually only has 2 to work with, but what do you know? The putty is that. So he'll go ahead and buy the putty. And the turn. Let's see. Knockout Blow gets destroyed. Shift over, shift over, shift over, shift over. Sword of Darkness and Pumpkin Wrapper. Let me ready the attached cards. The only one that isn't readied is the White Tiger Zord, because you have to pay the Zord Bay fee in order to do that. Which, if I did right here, no, I think that's, yeah. So before I even go, if I were to activate that, it would cost me 5, which would put me at 4. And if I use White Tiger Sword, he would get the bonus. But I don't know if I want to do that. Is that the best? Oh, wait, heavy attack's only 4. I thought it was a 5. Yeah, 5 for each. 5 plus. Shoot, what was that really expensive one? Maybe I'm thinking of a Green Ranger or something. I don't know. Well, either way, I'll go ahead and pay 1 because it's 3 minus 1. Now I'm at 8 to draw a card, which wasn't really that good. So, I mean, I'll play it. Attitude. Next time you battle, disrupt the 2 cards you control. So, what do you know? I have 2 teamwork, so if this works out, I'm going to get rid of it. Blade Blaster, that puts me at 4. So, I'm going to go ahead and destroy the Pumpkin Wrapper for 3. And they have to discard 1 card. 1, 2, oh wait. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can pick, so 1 Mayhem. And that leaves me with 1. Well, no, 1. Yeah, I'll keep that 1 in mind. I'll pay 5, putting me at 3 for the Zord Bay, which readies the White Tiger Zord. Then I'll go ahead and pay 0 for the White Tiger Zord to deal 3, that plus 3, because my energy is at 5 or fewer. And he cannot oh wait, that's not the hand. And if he doesn't negate, which he doesn't, it does 6 damage, putting him at 17. And so that was pretty good. Go ahead and play heavy attack for an extra 2, putting him at 5. See, 1, I have 4 shards. Parry. Well, should I play parry? Might attach parry, actually. Yeah, I think I'm gonna attach parry. And let's see, I have 4 shards, 5 energy. I'll pay. No, I should probably hold on to that. Well, I have 4. Oh, I bought. Ooh, pterodactyl, which costs 5, so I can't afford that. And there's Rito, but he hasn't bought any yet, so it's full 7. Um, you know, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there and go ahead because I had that attitude defeating Pumpkin Wrapper. Get rid of 2 of these teamworks, and then end the turn. 3, 4, 5, and then it just refills like normal. Putty, I take 1. I'm at 23. It's really turned around at this point. I think that much is pretty clear. His turn goes. Reserves immediately gain 5. He's already at 20. He's going to go for maneuvers, and he can activate an attached card. So he's got 5? He's got 5 in disposable. I guess he'll buy this maneuver for 2, so that leaves him with 3. Anything here that costs 3? I guess he buys the leftmost one. That's not even that good, but he gets a free thing, so he'll go ahead and use the Z Putty. Z Putty Patroller for free, deal 3 damage if negated, heal 2 if you have 10 or fewer. Oh wait, Juice Bar gives him an extra 1, so he's at 18 health. He does use the Z Putty, so I'll pay 2, putting me at 3 to activate Parry, negate an attack, draw 1, then discard this card. Puts me at a better state. And I guess that passes his turn. And I guess the Sword of Darkness gets destroyed. Because it wasn't super clear to me if, as the hero, I need to get rid of these since these are not adversaries, or if it was adversary in the scheme of cards that are adversaries, put it that way. Okay, so I think he's going to need a shuffle now, but back to White Ranger's turn. Opponent has their hand. My turn. All right, so this time I will attach Regenerate. That was the 5-er that I was thinking of before. Which, you know what, I lost out on a few things, but it's not that big a deal. Let's see, Alpha readies for the turn. I'll go ahead and pay the 1 for Alpha to draw 1 card. And that puts me at 2 energy, which is fine because I have ways to make that up. With the Black Ranger, he puts me to 6 energy and 3 shards. Heavy attack, which puts me to 8. And see, that's 6. Parry, putting me to 9. And what's that? 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have quite a bit. 11. 11 minus 2. I'm going to take out this putty. Minus 2. And I think he takes 2 because there was 2 pinks. So that's 16 for him. I took out the putty for 2, so that heals me for 2. So I'm at 25. See, I think I had, oh, wait, what did I have? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I had 11 minus 2 equals 9. 9 minus 5 equals 4. I'll buy the pterodactyl. Zord. 9 minus 5, I have 4 left. I'm going to go ahead and buy one of these Pink Rangers because they yield quite a bit of energy and a little bit of shard. So that's going to work out pretty well for me. And that uses up all that. And now I can attack. I'll attack with Pterodactyl. Let's see. For deal 1 damage for each starter you control. Now, I don't know if that means. Well, it does say for each. So I do have 3. Now, if it's supposed to mean for each differently named one, that counts differently. So if I had teamwork, attitude, that would be 2. If I had teamwork, attitude, that would only be 2 because it's 2 different names. But if it's for each one, that's 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna count as that, and I'm attacking for 3, and he is going to let that happen. Now he's at 13. And then I'm going to pay 2 to put me to 7. Heal with regenerate, healing 3, putting me at 28. Then I'm going to. I could heal again and just max out, but I don't really need to. I'll use Saba, pay another 2, so I'm at 5. Attack deal damage equal to the cost of another card. Regenerate cost 5, so I'm going to attack with 5. This time he will block it with the Super Putty Patroller, paying 4 energy. Oh no, yeah, 4. Negate an attack, heal 2 if you have 10 or fewer, then discard this card. So he just negated the attack, which is fine, which is good for him. And I think that's it for the turn. I could heal more, but there's really no point. And then things just kind of refill as they would. I do take 1 because a bad guy came up, so I'm at 27. I'm at a point now where if I start buying more Zords, it really doesn't matter. Like, the number of Zords that I have. Like, if I'm able to just buy them all, I'm probably already winning or in a state to win the game, honestly. So I don't super understand that part of the mechanic. I don't know how you would balance it out, but it's like it's like winning more type thing. You're already winning, but now you're winning by an absurd amount. So draw my cards. 5, okay. What are we focusing on? Stunning strike, attack. Target foe gains 2 stuns. And he gets to use an attached ability. Oh, I didn't. Oh, he discarded 1. I will block that if I can. All right, I'm going to dodge that by paying 6. Oh no, I can't afford that. Ooh, sticky. Sticky. Ooh, that's I'm going to go ahead and I have to do it. Green Ranger. I'll pay 4, so I'll have 1 left. Ooh, I didn't have enough for the one I wanted. Negate an attack, draw 1, or put an equipment from your discard pile into your hand, then discard this card. I didn't have a discard pile, so I'll just have to draw 1, which is fine. Okay, so I stopped that from happening. He started the turn. He gains 2 health because his is at 15 or fewer, so he goes to 15. And he gets to activate a ability, which, I mean, it's going to have to be Putty Patroller to do 3 damage. And he'll have to take it because he does not have enough, putting him at 24. And he goes after villains this turn unless he can do something more. So first, a Z-Staff to go back to 20. Like, he's always going to hover around 20. I don't really understand that. Stun, Blade Blaster, and Mayhem, which actually puts him at 7, so he can buy Lord Zedd. When a master is attached to the layer, he loses, or it deals 1 damage to the good guys. But at the start of your turn, you may destroy 1 card in your hand with Lord Zedd. More importantly, he gets to transform. And now he has an attack for that ability, and so that means a lot more. Attack deal damage to the total cost of the equipment attached to your character. So he'll be doing 4 damage. Unless I get some clarification on if he can choose to get rid of stuff, because then, of course, he's going to want to get Sword of Darkness. Power Morpher, that's 9. That's 9 damage. That's almost half, or not half, sorry. It's almost a quarter of your health by itself right there. But that was everything in his turn, so he'll have to pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That said, disarm is gonzo. Everything moves over. Ooh, Angel Grove High School. Okay, so good guy's turn. Ready my non-Zords. And I don't think I'll need to use Regenerate or the Yellow Ranger anytime soon. I mean, I probably should still. So first I'm going to use Strike Oppose to get 3 energy, putting me at 4. Not too bad. Go ahead and use Dodge to get another 3, putting me at 7. That is not bad either. I'm going to be using a lot, so it's like, ugh. Rad Bug, another 5, so that's 12. Fortunately, we won't be staying there for long. As well as a Teamwork and an Attitude. So, what's the next Zord we'll be able to buy? Saber-tooth Tiger. So we're at 5, 6, 7. So I think I'm going to use 5 of my 7 to get Saber-tooth Tiger, who comes in ready. Deal 3 damage if negated, heal 2. That's really not bad. And that leaves me with, what I'd say, 2. I have 2 left. I can get Strike Oppose or I can get a Blade Blaster. I think I'm going to get Strike Oppose because it yields more energy. Yeah, go ahead and do that. It's not super great, but I'll go ahead and do that. And let me think. I guess I'll go ahead and use Saber-tooth Tiger. Attack, 3 damage. Is he going to negate it? He's not going to negate it. Putting him at, see, that was 3 damage. He's now at 12. Okay. Pay 2, so he's at 10. To attack with Saba. Saba will choose Regenerate, so that's another 5, and he cannot do anything, so that leaves him at 7. Oh, no, that's 17. 7, there it is. I think that's it. Although, you know what? I will pay 2. No, I'll pay 1, because it's 3 minus 1. So that's 9. To draw a card. Ooh, it's heavy attack. Gives me an extra 3. Did I have enough? What did I buy? No, I bought Strike Oppose. Yeah, that used up all of what I had. Shoot. 3. Nothing for 3. I guess a Blade Blaster? I guess a Blade Blaster. That's fine. And then 2 extra energy. Let me add 11. So I did use that. I think I'm going to let Yellow Ranger detach so I can put something else here. I'm going to go ahead and pay 5, putting me at 6 energy so that I can ready all Zords. I have 3 now. 2 more, and I get the Megazord. See the Tiger Zord, Saber-tooth Tiger, and Pterodactyl. And I will end my turn there. I will take 1 damage because there is a villain. Let's see. Yeah, still just 1. Now it goes to the bad guy. Flurry of Blows. Activate the top and bottom attached cards. You're going for an equipment and activate an ability. So first of all, top one is gonna attack for 3, which I think I'll take. Puts me at 19. And then if negated, he can heal, so it's not going to be negated. And then bottom, start of the turn, you may destroy a card in your hand. Destroy the putty clay because it doesn't seem to be that helpful. And then he can activate any attached ability, which I guess he'll use Risk Communicator to shuffle 1 hero or villain from the main deck discard pile into the top 3. Z-Putty, Babu. Babu's not bad. Probably going to be probably King Sphinx. Okay. He's going to go ahead and shuffle King Sphinx into the top 4 cards of the main deck. So now it's going to be the top 5, and he's guaranteed to be one of them. Yeah, King Sphinx. I was thinking Babu, and I saw it in the other pile, and I'm like, wait, no, what have I done? Okay. So now that's there. He used his ability, and now he can play out his turn as normal, which is a little worse for wear, but 2/2, 1/1, so that's 2/4/6. He's gonna go ahead and get another master, Rito. Now at the start of the turn, he'll be able to draw 1, but since there's now 2 masters, he deals 2 damage, putting the good guy at 17 health. Incrementally, they keep going up. So the next one, he'll do 3 damage, 4, and I think the 5th, 5 or 6, I think. 6 is probably the max. I think that does end his turn there. Oh, although, actually, I think that means he can activate his ability. So he'll pay 6, putting him at 14. So now energy kind of doesn't matter. Deal damage equal to the total cost of equipment attached to your character. That is 4. He deals 4 damage. I'll go ahead and parry that by paying 4, leaving me at 2 energy. But I negate his attack and draw a card. Now, turn passes. Let's see. Viewing globe, I guess, gets destroyed. Everything shifts over, and we're about to find out if King Sphinx is there. It is not, but it is the Red Ranger, which does cost the normal amount since he's not in his other side. But if I buy it, hey, that costs 5, and that goes towards his attack. Now everything gets readied except for Zords, but I had already readied them, so it's whatever. And let's see what else happens. I think that's it. He takes 1 damage. Now he's at 6, so this could potentially be game in this turn depending on what I can actually do. And let's see what we got. Recovery to go back to 18, which is, nope, 20 or fewer, so it's actually 19. Sweet. This is the card I wanted to play. Pink Ranger, 6 energy, so now I'm back to 8. I play around with that a lot. Then go ahead and put Black Ranger in the fray, so that's up 12. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pay the 1 energy for Alpha, putting me at 11. To draw a card, which was not great. So that's 5 right there. So I can already buy my next Zord, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. And by Triceratops. Attack. Target foe gains 1 stun for each block in your discard pile. Ooh, that actually might work out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Hmm. Yeah, that's actually really good. I don't know if I want to go for that now. Well, because I can only activate 1 Zord per turn. So, I mean, there's no reason not to play these. I have another 4. Um, I guess I'll go ahead and get Angel Grove High for 4. This way I can start destroying cards I like the basic cards I want to get rid of, and I can get energy instead. Whichever one, because I have quite a few heroes in this. Okay, now I will pay 2, putting me at 9, to attack with Saba for 5. Now this puts him awful close to death, so it will be up to him to be like, well, do I want to get that close to death or do I want to hang on to it for the next one? He's going to take that, and so he's got 1 health left. So I literally only have to do 1 damage to win. Because he has no attached blocks and he couldn't block from his hand, meaning I could just say Saber-Tooth Tiger does his attack and I win the game, which I do. If he wasn't so close to death, I would have gone for the Triceratops to put several stuns into his deck because he already had a couple. So if he keeps drawing into them, his hand is just so bad, there's just nothing he can do about it. And because of that, he he's just a sitting duck. Now, had he been able to start getting things going, which he would have been, because with Rito, he has 6 cards in his hand per turn. With Zedd, he can get rid of any not great cards, including some of the stuns. So, if he had more health, I do think he could have been able to turn it around because Rito and Zedd working together means you still have 5 cards in your hand each turn. Now, I would like to get clarification on if he can choose to discard his attached cards, because obviously if I get something higher later on, he would want to go for the higher thing. So I don't remember that being written in the stuff, and actually I didn't have anything super high. Yeah, he did not even have any expensive equipment, which is kind of his game plan. Um, because the turn I got the equipment focus card, he had enough for Rito, so that superseded that. So he would have gotten that instead. Let's see. Next turn he would have gotten location, which I don't think there would have even been one. Yeah, there wouldn't even have been one. So the beginning was pretty bad. I was consistently hovering around the low teens. By the end, it was kind of a breeze. I had bought enough block cards to keep myself going and alive, enough energy to keep things going, alpha to draw that consistently, get that 6th card in my hand, the Yellow Ranger to heal me back up, or at least keep me hovering, then regenerate. By the time I had regenerate, I was already like near maximum, and I never really fell below um, the teens. I think in general, I don't know if I ever went under 10 that entire time. Yeah, this was fun. Definitely lopsided in that the beginning was almost overwhelming with because of the soloed cards. He's able to just attack me for 3, and I'm just taking damage, and they get random good things. But I don't know. Maybe playing as a villain might be a little more fun in this game. Because the once you get started as a ranger, things really like you mow them over very easily with mostly because of the swords. Because they're free, they don't cost anything to reuse them. Does cost the 5, but um, I don't know if I've ever playing with people in teams. I've ever gotten to the Megazord because once we got a few Zords, it became more of a like you're already winning, you're just winning more type of thing, which can be discouraging for some players and is actually part of the reason I don't play this more often with people. And I think it has been the case where playing in teams against people, I've done very well on both sides, bad guys and good guys. And I guess it's a hallmark where you can make your side look overpowered. And if you can do that with both sides, I think that means the problem doesn't lie in the game. It might lie in the mentality of the other players or just luck, because it is a card game. So luck does end up being a large part of it. But it can be discouraging when it seems like, well, this one's just really good. Like, what can you even do? Or like, I felt like I didn't even have a turn. It is kind of my fault because whenever I would get attacks, I would focus my attacks on the player that would go after me, so that he wouldn't get a turn. It would go to my partner. He would do some cool stuff, but then it would go back to the first player, and then he would have his turn, which would be pretty normal, and he wouldn't necessarily focus on me, but I would focus on him. So I created a situation where one of my opponents basically didn't get a turn, and I can understand someone being turned away from the game a bit because of that, and I own up to that, and that is actually really my bad. I am trying to get them back into it as we speak, and hopefully it will work. I am hoping for more of these sets, not just solo mode and multiverse type stuff, but more base sets. Well, we right now we have two base sets. We have MMPR and we have Zeo, and I think we could absolutely do that with other seasons. They're not going to be as popular because your most popular ones are obviously going to be MMPR. So, I mean, maybe you could do like a short box expansion with season three, Tengu Warriors and stuff like that. Maybe Alien Rangers, bring them into the fray. If you've played Heroes of the Grid, they have tons of stuff and multiple Zords for the MMPR people because they have like the original Thunder Megazord, the Ninja Megazord, the Shogun Zords, I think, are also in there. So you have multiple different ways to play that Ranger Zord, different iterations. Then you go to more, later seasons, and it's like, okay, you get the one. But Mighty Morphin obviously is going to get this special treatment. Zeo gets some of it. They have their Zeo Zords, and then the Super Zeo Zords, which, funny name, I guess, but it's still really fun. That game, I think I'd have even less of a chance to um, record in the current setup. If I can get a setup to work for that, we can definitely try that out. That might work a little better if we do like because it's a circle, and if I could get like a second camera for like the player cam type thing, then we might be able to make that work. But stay tuned to that stuff because more is in the pipeline later.